Twilight opened our eyes as to how serious this still occurring issue is. Before reading Twilight, we would hear the term racism and know that it was a bad thing, and that was it. To us, it wasn't a pressing matter. Now it is. Hearing our peers' different opinions and questions, and watching footage from 1992 and today, have made us come up with questions of our own and new things to wonder about. People are so quick to say that racism or riots only affects blacks. Twilight opened our eyes on how different people are involved in racism, how every single person, regardless of their skin color and background, was affected by the riots. Reginald Denny, a white man, was and still is affected by the riots. He was unaware of the riots happening in the area he had happened to turn down on. He was pulled out of his car and beaten extensively by black assailants and left for dead. Today, Denny has nerve damage in his eyes and hearing loss caused by the attack and is reminded of it every day because of the damage the attack left on his body. Richard Kim was a Korean American. His mother was shot during the riots, and his store was being surrounded by people while gunshots were being fired around him. Kim had to dodge the bullets and experience being shot at for no clear reason. This happened because of the riots. His mother died because of the riots. He had nightmares of this incident because of the riots. Rudy Salas, a sculptor and painter, has always believed ever since he was a young boy that white people were against him. He got himself into a bad situation once when he was in his teens. He got pulled over by a cop and took a swing at one of them, and that was the end of it. The cops took him in and beat him up so badly that he became deaf in both ears. From that point on, Rudy had a hate in him. He realized that he had an enemy. Rudy believed that whites were afraid of minorities like himself, Mexicans, and blacks as well. This continued to affect Rudy the rest of his life. He continued on his life deaf and hateful. On March 3rd, 1991, Rodney King was an American taxi driver who on that day became famously known for being beaten by LA cops in a high-speed car chase. He was beaten by 4 officers who were later charged with assault with a deadly weapon and the use of excessive force. Because this incident was recorded, it inflamed outrage in cities where racial tension was already high, sparking one of the causes for the riots. This footage raised awareness to the public about police treatment to minorities and how we aren't treated as equals. Every race in some way were affected by the riots, some more than others. But our challenge is to stop discrimination, so violent acts like the ones just described in the riots don't happen again. But as said before, people are unaware what racism is and what it can cause. Since we were educated on how serious the issue is and how it can affect every race, it's up to us to make a change. Are you up for the challenge?